Yes, people. We are back. We are back after normalcy has been restored in Manchester. And बहुत खुशी हो रही है because Man City were under a lot of pressure to win this match and they did not disappoint me. And most of the City fans are really happy after that result. And we're quickly going to dive into some nuances, choti moti cheezein which I picked in the game. What are the things that we are looking forward from this City team? Uh, we have a very difficult match at the Emirates against the Arsenal, so थोड़ा सा प्रीव्यू भी उधर कर लेंगे. ज़्यादा टैक्टिकल स्टफ्स में नहीं जाएंगे. We are only going to discuss certain things which were very visible from the match. And but before we do that, I just want to address one point. So all I heard from Manchester United fans for the entire week was how quietly confident they are, how they're going to destroy Pep, how Pep is gone, how Pep is cooked, how City is not the City of yesteryears and this and that and blah, and how Amarim has a better record than Pep, and how Manchester United can do this. What happened there? I just don't understand what were their plans. I mean, I quickly just want to address one more aspect of this was I was being tagged in so many comments where people were telling me, especially Manchester United fans, they cannot hear me from the top of the table. Dude, we have been ahead of you 13 years now. You have not finished above us on the table for 13 years in a row. And you have the audacity to tell us that you are above us in the table only after 3 games. Now, can you hear us now? City's on the ball structure was very different from anything that I have ever seen. मतलब जिस तरह से City setup हुई इस game में, and the choice of 11 that Pep took surprised most of the City fans, I guess, because हम लोगों को नहीं पता था कि Kusunov can play on the right back, and that guy is a beast, man. He just completely annihilated Dorgu on the left. But Dorgu, I'm not going to hype him that much because real test lies on the other week. But वो हम बाद में बात करेंगे. We have more time for Arsenal, but right now we have to talk about the setup. So setup mein basically what he did was he started with a back four, but on the ball Nico O'Reilly tucked in as an inverted fullback. So ये पहली बार हमने नहीं देखा है. We have seen this with Pep. He has done this with so many players. सबसे पहले Fabian Delph के साथ. Then he tried it with Zinchenko. He was very successful there. Then Cancelo came, and Cancelo was probably the best exponent of that system for Man City. And then we have seen Rico do that job for us as well. So this is something not new to Pep, but seeing Nico Riley on the left back pocketing Embuemo was something really special to see, because Embuemo was really uh, the only threat that I perceive, along with, let's say, Ahmad. I thought they were the two people who could really trouble City, but Nico did really good job on Embuemo. So वहाँ से what happened was there was this small diamond that was created in the midfield where Reinders, Rodri, Nico, and Foden were playing, and they were playing against two Manchester United midfielders. And भाई आपको फुटबॉल आता हो नहीं आता हो, आपको मैथ्स आती हो नहीं आती हो, आपको ये समझ में ज़रूर आ जाएगा कि अगर चार इंसान एक स्पेस में है और उनके अगेंस्ट दो इंसान खेल रहे हैं तो चार लोगों की जीत होगी. एंड I just didn't understand why Amarim does not want to change his system then when he knows City are trying to overload their midfield. Put in an extra midfielder there, यार क्या करना चाहते हो? I just never understood, and I don't understand his philosophy. But I'm not here to talk about. Most of the Manchester United fan base also agree with me that this guy has lost his head. But ठीक है, मुझे कुछ ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ता नहीं है, वो रहे ना रहे. But we are on to City. So what happened was we created an overload in the midfield, and they just, it was so baffling. They were just trying to press. Ugarte was just trying to press Rodri every time Rodri received ball from Guardiola. Yeah, Guardiola, I'm sorry. And that that created so much space for Foden. to run into and to take the ball in deep areas and drive forward. And what a player Foden is. So we're going to talk about Foden as well in this video, but it was a disaster in making. आप जिस तरह से setup कर रहे थे, it was quite visible. Yes, for 10 minutes, I'm going to admit that their pressing was affecting us. But जैसे ही 10 मिनट हुए, our nerves got cooled, and once we were in the control of the ball, I knew that this system is so flawed that we don't even have to do anything to win this match. And this is what exactly happened for six. So, quick mention to Donnarumma. I mean, there are a lot of people who were very skeptical of Donnarumma, and people telling us that he's not a Pep player and he's not going to work out for Pep. But y- I just cannot understand why would you make such an observation of a player who has just recently won a treble, who has single-handedly taken his team to a Champions League victory. And I mean, more 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 than that, I mean, the character that Donnarumma is, जिस तरह से उसने knee slide किया, I mean that he's going to be a cult hero for sure. For Manchester City fans, and his fist pumping with Kusunov, his chest pumping with Diaz, and his hug with Haaland. I mean, it was such a beautiful scene to see. He's just 25 years old, but the way he commanded that box was so fresh and so good to see. Because I mean, yeah, Edison was very good, and I'm always thankful to his services, but bhai, he is not saving that goal, that shot. I mean, that Mbuemo shot. I mean, what a save! And this is something that lifts the entire team. It lifted the entire stadium, because we have seen those kind of goals go in, and with 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 30 minutes left on the clock and goal line around 2-1, anything could happen, because we saw that happen against Brighton as well. So it does give a lot of confidence to me कि he's going to be very good player. And more than that, I think his leadership quality is to be praised, because जिस तरह से I saw him telling Ruben Diaz in one of the clips that I saw on Twitter, that you go ahead, don't pass it back. So man who has just started playing his first game for a club telling captain not to do this, it takes a lot of guts, and it tells me that he has a very clear head, and he knows how to command that box. And I'm really glad that City signed him. And we'll see how it goes. But things are looking beautiful for Man City in terms of their goalkeeping dilemmas. This was an interesting back four selection from Man City. I mean, interesting, and probably the best back four that we have currently in our squad. You can debate that Ryan Aitnouri can come and replace Nico O'Reilly, but since he's injured, we're not going to discuss. So for me as well, this is probably City's best back four in terms of defenders. And I mean, Guardiola, we all know how Guardiola plays. He's so good with his feet. He's so good with everything. Probably City's best defender right now, and we so missed him in the first two games. But he's back now, and we're very happy. And I'm just praying that अब हमारी कोई ज़्यादा बड़ी इंजरी ना हो जाए, because I want to go to Emirates and feel confident. Result आए ना आए, we're going to talk about it in the preview. But we cannot go there lackluster, saying that ये player injured है, वो player injured है. We have to go there. We have to assert ourselves, and tell the world that and remind everybody that we are here to fight. So more on that, I mean, Guardiola did his job. He was very good with the link up play. He plays the ball so beautifully. Him and Rodri combine really well, और short spaces में एक दूसरे को pass देते हैं, and they've always been a good pair. When जब Guardiola left back भी खेलता था, he always was very good with the central defenders and central midfielder as well. So there's no point. I mean, Diaz was beast. I mean, he won 7 duels, aerial duels. That is, I mean, Sheshko for the large part of the game was missing. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था यूनाइटेड 10 आदमियों से खेल रही, बस बिकॉज़ आफ्टर दैट फर्स्ट शॉट दैट ही टूक अगेंस्ट डोनारुमा, ही वाज़ नेवर nowhere to be seen. पता नहीं कहाँ था, what the plan was of Amorim, what he wanted to do with Sheshko, but वी कैन नॉट ब्लेम डियाज, जो उसके सामने होगा आपके स्टैट्स उसके अगेंस्ट ही काउंट होंगे, सो इट वाज एन इजी जॉब देयर. Nico, we have discussed, Nico played really well. He moved forward, he moved back, he created space for Doku to come inside. तो बहुत सारी चीजें अच्छी थी Nico की. But the main focus on this part of the video is on the Kusanov thing. So बहुत सारे Man City fans are very much divided when it comes to Kusanov, and I'll explain you की problem क्या है. So Kusanov is typically not the right back, but we all know सिटी के पास कोई राइट बैक है नहीं. तो आज हुआ ये कि we saw something very different. I mean, I saw someone who has so much strength and so much pace at the same time, and who can defend one on one beautifully. But the problem with Kusanov would be कि भाई अगर ऐसा विंगर है आपके सामने who wants to run at you, who wants to go past you, तब तो he is one of the better defenders in our team. But if we face a winger who is a bit tricky, someone like an Eze, though Eze is not going to run past you. He's going to manipulate the ball. He's going to cut himself inside your midfield. वो वहां से लेफ्ट से ड्रिफ्ट करके सेंटर में आएगा. तो क्या कुसुनोव के पास वो एबिलिटी है टू टैकल समवन लाइक एन एजे? आई पर्सनली फील नहीं है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट वुड बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी कि पेप क्या प्लान करता है, वेदर ही स्टार्ट्स कुसुनोव अगेन against Arsenal, or he plays Nunes there, because this is something very interesting for Pep as well. क्योंकि we don't have that, it's very visible that that has been our weak area. So I don't know, maybe, but I might be wrong, and I hope I am wrong, because the performance that he put against Manchester United was nothing short of a flawless performance. He absolutely dominated Dorgu. He just never allowed them anything from the left side, or left side वो यूनाइटेड की क्या थी. आई जस्ट स्टिल डोंट अंडरस्टैंड हु वाज प्लेइंग, व्हाट वर दे प्लेइंग. आर्सेनल के साथ ऐसा नहीं होगा, अनफॉर्चुनेटली. आर्सेनल आर अ वेरी गुड टीम राइट नाउ, एंड they know as to how to attack. And अगर मार्टिनेली होता, I would have fancied Kusunov against Martinelli, but against Eze I'm still skeptical. But we'll see. And I mean, if someone if someone can do a job on Eze, भाई बहुत, I'll be the most proud person to admit that I was wrong. So we'll see on that as well. So Rodri and Reinders, I think both were not good at all. And I don't know, people would, I'm not doing this to wind people up, but सच्चाई ये है कि हमने रॉड्री को जिस तरह से देखा है, he is not playing like that. And it's quite understandable as well, because आपकी ACL injury हुई है and you've come back, and everybody remembers Virgil van Dijk's ACL injury. It was a horrible accident. और जब वो वापस आया था, he took some time. पहले तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि he has lost everything, but such is his mental resolve that he came back, and he came back better player. But उसे भी थोड़ा टाइम लगा था. It took him around 2 3 4 months to get to the pace of the Premier League. So Rodri को भी टाइम लगेगा. We have to remain patient there with him, because a physically fit Rodri is must in City team if we have any chance against Arsenal. So agar, if you ask me, if I was Pep, I would straight away tell Rodri, bhai, you are not going to play this Champions League game. You go home. You're not in the bench. Take rest, recover, focus yourself, conserve your energy. I want you there at the Emirates on Sunday, because I need you there. And if a physically fit Rodri is there, and if he performs around 70-80%, I think still City are still uh, City would have a good chance against. I don't know if we could win that game, but at least we can compete. But without Rodri, I don't think we can even compete against Arsenal. So I mean, Rodri is looking okayish, but I'm patient enough to understand that ACL से आने के बाद it takes time. On the other hand, I think Reinders is still not the Reinders that we saw in the Club World Cup. So people are hyping हम बहुत ज़्यादा gaslight कर रहे हैं, but the truth is that he is not up to the paces of the Premier League. He does not understand when to press, when not to press. He sometimes ऐसा लगता है जैसे he just wants to drive the ball. Sometimes he finds himself into various different positions where I just don't understand why he was there. तो अगर आप लोगों ने मैच देखा होगा तो you must have seen फोर्डन ने कितनी बार intricate play से he created that space, and he was so he was, I don't know what he was trying to do. He was so rushed. He was throwing himself इधर उधर कहीं भी लात मार रहा था. I think you can't do this. चलो United was pathetic, but you cannot do this against top side. So I think he is also going to uh, be okay for me. थोड़ा सा time लगेगा. He's adjusting. He's understanding the role, because in the Club World Cup he was playing the deeper role, but either he's थोड़ा सा advanced. So he's trying to create that space for himself, his identity, थोड़ा सा imprint कर देता. I mean, ability wise, he's as good as anybody on the ball. His pressing is awesome, but I think his understanding of the Premier League and the pace of it, उसमें थोड़ा सा problem है. But I think we are going to be fine. And this is probably the best midfield that we have, and this is the best midfield that we should start against Arsenal. So there is no better side in world football if you're a Manchester City fan than seeing Philip Walter Foden glide through that Etihad pitch and play like a boy who just loves and enjoys his football. And that's what he did actually. And it was so refreshing and so beautiful to see him perform. All those Foden haters, naysayers who are asking where he is, there he is. He's ready. I mean, in post-match presentation, also he said that he reads all the comments, all the hate that people are giving him, and it motivates him. And that is what I want to hear from Phil Foden. He is my favorite City player in this squad, ahead of Rodri, ahead of Haaland, and ahead of anybody else. And for City to do anything good, Foden has to do what he does best. So if you see his heat map, अगर आप थोड़ा सा इस पे ध्यान दोगे तो you would see this dark spot. अब it might look a bit strange कि यार अपने half में why is he receiving so many balls, but this is actually really good, because if you remember the season he won PFA, he was playing in the midfield because De Bruyne was absent, and he used to receive those balls so deep in the half and then try to drive himself into the midfield, driving other people to come and tackle him. And he is so good with his feet, and he has that intricate passing ability. He has that intelligence. He does not lose the ball as much as most of the other midfielders do. So he when he received those balls so late, there's always a chance for other players to go into different channels, pockets, and spaces. And he's still one of the best passers in the Premier League. So he finds all those passes as well. It's very good to see him starting, because he understands Pep's system more than anybody else, any midfielder in the Premier League. तो बहुत ज़रूरी है हमारे लिए कि वो वहाँ पर खेले, receive that ball, and it is not worrying at all, because this is some a map which has similarities of two Premier League legends in my era, फ्रैंक लैम्पार्ड एंड इल्काई गुंडोवान, बिकॉज वो लोग भी बॉल वहीं से रिसीव करते थे, एंड दे एंडेड अप running towards the box and scoring those late goals in late runs, and touching. And so it's a beautiful thing, and we are very happy. I Similar to Rodri, I don't want Pep to start him against Napoli. He has just come back from an injury, and just give him that rest, Pep. Don't bring him off the bench. You have enough players there. You can play. I mean, you can play Nico Gonzalez there. You can play Bernardo or whatever you want. I think Kovacic might be fit. So please play whoever you want to play, but just give them a rest. Give Foden and Rodri, those key players, certain rest, and just motivate them and tell them how important it is for uh, us and them to play good against Arsenal. So there as well, I would also want Foden to take a rest, and we'll see what happens there as well. So Erling Haaland has started this season again on a very high note. I mean, he scored 5 goals against Moldova in the club in the international break, and coming back to his international from his international duty to Manchester derby and again scoring a brace. I mean, the numbers are just staggering. I mean, even for his standard, his non-penalty XG is around 1, which means like he's going the it is expected of him to score a goal every game. This is what the stat means. And his overall XG is around 1.5 or something like that. I don't remember, but uh, I'll just put up the stat there, and we can see there as well, which is very good because Pep has something really interesting. Pep has given a very interesting statement when it came to Haaland this season. He said that this is the best version of Haaland that he has seen, better than the treble winning season. And it is a very bold statement because he scored 50 to 53 goals in his debut season. So if, if a manager is saying that the player is performing better than what he did for his best ever season, it means that he's seeing something that we haven't seen yet. I trust Pep. He does not say things just for the sake of it. He says because he sees something, and numbers are proof of it. I mean, his work rate in on the ball and off the ball as well. I mean, the way he this guy presses. Bindir had no clue what to do when Haaland was pressing him all over the pitch. His pace is extraordinary. His physicality is extraordinary. He's a chalta firta robot, as they say. I mean, so strong. Mentally, he's so strong. Even if he misses one or two chances, he's never phased to take another shot, and he's mentality monster in itself, and one of the best ever Premier. He is in course of becoming one of the best ever Premier League strikers. The strike rate, the amount of goals that he has scored in the amount of number of matches that he has played is, I mean, it's extraordinary. I have never seen such numbers. I mean, he has become a nemesis for United, him and Foden. So I read a stat which was very interesting. So for a combined Phil Foden and Erling Haaland have scored 15 out of the last 17 goals that Man City has scored against United, and Haaland has now been directly involved in 11 goals against Manchester United, which is more. That is the best that he has against any other club. So there is this small fact as well. I mean, he is now joint top with Aguero and Rooney for goals scored in Manchester Derby. He has scored 8 goals, Foden with 7, but Haaland has only played 6 games. So you can see how dominant he is and how beautiful he performs. I mean, with with Haaland, I would just want him to be fit, not get injured, and the humiliation that we received from Arsenal last year. I want Haaland to remember that. I want us fans to remember that, because that is the force that is going to drive us uh, to do well in that game. So Haaland, just keep doing what you're doing, and yes.